of Fimena versus Holisu, and as you mentioned,
Yo, what's up everybody? I just wanted to make a video about how this Russell player could have potentially won game 3, and I actually thought he was going to win, and I just want to point out like the misplays and how he could have won, because I felt like the VS K9 player was in a very winning position. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. And I just wanted to analyze the game a bit more and see just to understand the thought process of this player and what he was thinking. But I feel like if the play was done correctly, he would have won nine times out of 10 because he just had the better hand.
Holisu is the.
I definitely think there's.
So it happens in game 3.
I mean, I want to mention
Game 1 he played
Also
very
fall
nice.
in that same-
But
Earlier Asala
it happens in
choir, unless it's
game
specific.
3. So
play, or does he have to start?
So we can see here the hand he's got: Caesar Valius, Noroi, a case for K9, Ash, and Madlov. So here Madlov's the starter since we have a fire in hand, which is very important to know. And the opponent
With normal summoning Madlov.
So opponent he has double Fuwa.
He's
I
running through
think
his
that's the
options,
copies.
thinking about what he
That looks
can
like
do,
a case
the
for
order he can
K9?
do them. Yep.
I think that's yeah.
Case.
Then your own Ash Blossom can.
We do look at his hand later
Is
on.
going to be the Ripper.
Yeah. Russell did just get.
Is going to be the Ripper.
Yeah. Russell did just get a slow play warning, taking a little too long to start his play there at the beginning of the turn.
Yeah.
But he did have a lot of options. Not a big deal. Just means 3 more minutes will be added on.
Up from Ethan's hand here.
So here we can see he's got double Fuwa, Duster, the Fallen the Virtues, and Pan. So no playable hand. No playable card in his hand, just 2 board breakers, 2 hand traps, and Dragotil Pan, which is unusable without way to fuse. So and he chooses to also, so he went case for K9 first action, so he's already done a draw check. So going for the Joker here is correct, like using the Joker, because he's already done a draw check. So here we look at his hand.
We also get the information.
That's
Harvey's Feather
2
Duster.
Fuwalos.
2 Fuwalos, Fallen Virtues, and a Draco Top hand. But what he's missing is a way to fusion summon.
Yeah, he can't go. And now we could add.
So you
He's
see
got
here,
nothing
on res he chooses to go Fuwa.
in terms, starting.
Because, well, the next action is going to be Ripper.
So
And he chooses not to Ash. So, what this tells me is that, since he's not used a normal summon, he wants to not make a big board and just, like, get the Madlov as a interruption. Use the start. Use the Madlov as a starter, because Madlov is not a starter without fire in hand or Holy Su in hand. If you're a VS player, you would know that. So
Yeah, there
he's
we
like,
go.
Okay,
And now
he doesn't choose Ash the first one because the next one will come down automatically, which is understandable. Not ashing the first Mulchami Fuwalos.
we could Ash Blossom can stop any starter.
So here,
So
makes
even if he
Ash-
draws-
usually making the Ripper is correct to protect yourself from Nib, Famina, stuff like that. So making the Ripper here is correct.
it's a starter. You just
You
ask
just
the
Ash it.
starter.
Yeah, exactly. But it's such.
So here he draws Lucius, you know. Lucius is a starter. It's a very weak starter, especially into an established board. So the VS player is still in a very good position.
Such a scary thing to do on a feature match stage.
We've seen so many people take the challenge with
Yeah.
Fuwalos here when, like, sometimes just you're supposed to give them less. A single card doesn't.
So I guess he's getting more disruptions.
And he sets up the quick play, which is very important, because the rip from hand will be like very
And
vital.
the one card he probably hand Ivy tip.
He goes
Feather
Madlov
Duster.
and,
Ripper can do well against the
Holy
Fimena,
Sta-
though. So
True.
I do like.
Holisu in rotation, and then you have enough attributes at this point. So I think it's for one.
Yeah.
Like out of
So it's going from the Holly Sue. Dude.
So he
So
has
he's
the
gonna
Holy
miss
Su.
out on like the opportune timing.
because the Fuwalos has been activated, you are allowed to go into Azuna, and you can summon the Azuna and the
Yeah.
Top of his.
It's scary to give your opponent the.
So here goes Izuna, Lupus, just to set up rank 5 on his opponent's turn, because he doesn't know when he's going to be able to use it. But I think this actually hurts him more than more than helps him out. But I personally would not summon out Izuna and Lupus because he's gonna trigger off your Izuna and Lupus anyways. So I just feel like using it here is incorrect. It also doesn't help with the Charmy situation. Obviously, he doesn't know about the Charmy draw, but I just feel like shotgunning here it makes no sense. You play into a Nibiru, just way too much. You lose the Ripper.
Draws.
So I just wouldn't do that.
You see that they have nothing. A very solid field. Yep. And
He
Ethan
sets
is
the trap here. The other thing what it does is it clogs up the zones for Holy Su. Even though he summons it in EMZ, it does clog up the zones for Holy Su. So I feel like that's just very incorrect to summon out here.
potentially in some trouble here.
Okay, Ethan is in big trouble. Yeah, he's in a dire shape. Need to draw off the field.
Or like a Rahu with a Ketu, like both of them.
It's a combination.
Yeah, or like a Lucius with the Rahu, or like something like that.
I will say he did have the Fallen and the Virtuous, so he has the tools.
True.
Oh, he does
He
have
has
the
one of the.
So here, as we can see, his opponent.
The only thing
draws.
is, Lupus can just immediately make another Ripper.
So right now, Russell knows Fua, Duster, Pan, the Fallen and the Virtuous. Those are the 4 cards he knows. He doesn't know about the third Fua and the Lucius. There's 2 unknowns right now in Ethan's hand that Russell needs to play around.
Good. And that one's not targetable.
And he draws, and it's another Fua.
But the thing,
drawn.
That's
big
another
question,
Mulcharmy,
he
right?
does.
That's
He
what it looks
still
like.
has the Fualos for this turn as well. That I assume he will.
So draw phase, he goes Fualos, and he has to understand here. When he goes Fualos, he has to realize how many times will he really summon from the deck. So you see 3 ways you can summon from the deck or extra deck. There's the X-Force release, which can't be chained because it's only in the main phase. There's Lupus, and then there's a Holy Su, reveal the Fire and the Dark. That's 3 potential draws, or 3 times that he can summon from the deck or extra deck that can get him a draw. So his opponent is going to go +3 potentially of this Fua, and he chooses
Activate.
he chooses to not Ripper negate it. I feel like you would 100% Ripper negate it because the 3 draws hurt you more than you dodging 1 draw from like chaining Lupus as he does.
The third one, he drew all 3 Fualos.
So he chains Lupus here. If he would opt to Ripper negate, his opponent has effectively lost out on a +3 or a +2 because he's replacing the Fu and going +2 because he's going to get 3+ draws. But now he's essentially going +1, which is still very strong. So here you would 100% Ripper negate.
Oh,
And
we're
He's
gonna
going to
chain
chain another Fualos?
Yeah, I mean he must. That's a free card.
All
Yeah.
3?
And he chains another Fualos here. So obviously he doesn't know about the second Fualos. Now Russell knows about. He's only missing 1 card because he either drew the Fualos from the Ripper draw or he drew the Fualos for turn. So he's effectively dealing with Duster, Pan, the Fallen and the Virtuous, and 1 unknown. That's what he's dealing with right now.
As
Copies
well. Wow.
of Mulcharmy
Like, will you? That's something you kind of have to main phase.
making.
So here,
Although it's a lot harder to resolve when it's your opponent's main phase.
So here he opts to still Ash negate it, but not use the Ripper, which I just don't seem to understand. Because the Ash turns off the Holy Su, it turns off the Caesar Valius, and it just turns off a lot of stuff. So I don't understand why he chooses to Ash the Mulcharmy Fualos instead of Ripper negating it. Because he knows his first action will be to clear the back row, because the back row, especially the trap card, is very hard to deal with, and it's very hard to force out in a VS deck. So his first action will always be Duster. So he will always be guaranteeing himself the back row removal. So the Ripper will never ever get a chance to resolve, to use his effects to negate before the main phase, because his first action will always be the Duster. So I don't understand why he opts to choose the Ash over the Ripper. It makes no sense to me.
We're
Yeah,
using the Ash.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
So Ethan making the bet.
Cards out of his hand.
Just in your hand for.
We know the other one. Yep.
Feather. Or no, not the Holly Sue.
Might have lost track that there
And
was.
over here, he obviously forgets about the Fua loss. So, and he draws into the Dark Ruler no more, and that cost him the game. But I just want to recreate this and see what could have been done if he opted to play optimally. So this is the recreation of the duel. This is pretty much the end board that he ends on. Even though I don't agree with it, let's just work with what we have. So he uses a Fua on our turn, so he gets one draw, which is fine. And then so at this point, we know everything except for one Lucius and one Fua. So he opts to go the first Fua here. So he opts to go the first Fua here on draw phase. And then let's say we rip and negate this. But because we still want the Holy Suit to be live and Caesar Valleys to be live, you know? And Snow Devil. It's very important. So, but let's say we go Ripper to negate this, negate the first Fua. So that's one thing we've checked. There's two unknowns. So at this point, he doesn't know about. Let's say what he's thinking right now. Let's say my opponent shotguns Fua draw phase. I already know about this Fua. So I'm thinking, what could the top decks basically be that could really hurt me? It's Lucius, there's Mululu, there's Famina, Ketchu, Branded Fusion, Rahu, and Fallen of Albaz. These cards are essentially cards which could hurt him. So if we go through all the checklists here, Famina gets her. Famina becomes valuable under Naroi because we know they have Pan. And Lantern, what do you call Branded Fusion, Rahu, Ketchu. These are all the strongest. Malulu is far by the weakest because it's very weak to like spot removal, any form removal. It's very weak too. So the only strongest cards here are Ketchu, Rahu, Branded Fusion, and Famina. But we know our opponent, they're gonna use the Duster first in the main phase. Because we want to force out the trap card, we don't want them to get any value from X Force release, we don't want them to have the protection effect of Vanquishal Star, and we basically don't want to play into Ripper before we can use it. Before they get any value from it. So negating Fua is 100% correct. Especially because he even ashes the second Fua, which tells me he's completely ignoring the VS side of the end board now, because the VS side lives and dies by this fire here, and he's choosing to negate it. So let's say here we go Ripper, and we negate it. So one Fua has been used, you know, and we opt to negate it. So now he's gonna go draw phase, use a second Fua. And then we're like, okay, so I'm missing one card from your hand that I don't know about. I know every single other card. I know the Lucius, I know the Fallen of the Virtues, I know Duster, and I know Pan. 3 cards and 1 unknown at this point. So when he chains the second Fua, you can then decide to make a judgment call. You can either chain Lupus here to overlay and to XC summon, or we can chain the Ash Blossom, but we have to let go of the VS side of the deck. So here I personally would go for Lupus and make Nash Knight. I feel like is the strongest because you won't get value from Valon or any of the other end-board pieces. So you make a Nash Knight here chain, and let's say we do up to Ash, the second Fua. So this Fua has been used. So now he's got Lucius, Follow the Virtuous, Duster, Pan. This is his hand, because in this scenario he doesn't draw from the Fua, not yet. So he has normal Lucius. So first he's gonna go Duster here. We go Duster, this goes, this goes. Here he can also opt to use the Fallen the Virtuous to, let's say, negate the K9 X-Force release by popping the Ripper, or he can opt to pop the Lupus, whichever hurts him the most. But I feel like here in every scenario you would opt to pop the Ripper because the banish effect is just too strong. So he gets rid of this. I feel like here I would chain the Fallen the Virtuous just to get the most value out of it. And you send Albion. So now we have Duster, Pan, and one unknown. Duster, Pan, one unknown. We got Nash Knight, and we got Holy Sue with Fire, Dark, and Caesar Valius. So if you look at all scenarios here, we've also got all these cards live. Madlove and Holy Sue to steal. So if you look at Follow the Albaz, he has to discard a card to essentially summon. What we can do, we can Nash Knight steal it, and plus Nash Knight is untargetable. So even if they like save the Follow the Virtuous for Lupus, then we'll have Werewolf. So we could steal it with the Nash Knight. So this is taken care of in this scenario. So this is not a problem. Then we've got Mululu here. Mululu here, we could opt to steal with Holy Sue. He will still get to fuse. Well, let's say we have Mululu here. Mululu will also not resolve. Instead of Lucius, he draws Mululu. Because we know all the cards in his hand. We know the Fallen the Virtuous. We know the Duster, which was used. And we know Pan. So Mululu will not resolve because we confirmed that one of his draws was Mululu. So the Mululu will not resolve because he needs another monster. So Mululu will be taken care of by Nash Knight and Holy Sue. So this isn't an issue for us. So then we've got Branded Fusion, Kechu, and then Rahu. These three cards will all be checked by the Ash Blossom in our hand. So if he starts, because like I said, we're only working with one unknown. So all of these will be checked by the Ash Blossom. So if he goes main phase, we will 100% be ashing this, no matter what. We'll 100% be ashing this. So, because this is the last card unknown in hand. So, all these cards are then checked. And then if it's Lucius, it's the same reasoning. It gets checked by the Ash Blossom. The only card that remains is Femina. And like I said, we know his hand. We know his Follow the Virtuous, which is used. Duster, which is used. So he's only got Pan, which is known, and one Femina. He cannot resolve the Femina. So here, we are in 100% a winning position. 100%. So if he played like this, the VS player, there is no chance that the VS player would have lost to Dracotale. But I feel like obviously since he's in the spotlight and he's under a lot of pressure, that they make a lot of mistakes. But I just wanted to show how if you use a kind of check for what your opponent can draw and see if your end board can deal with it, you can make better informed decisions. Because sometimes we kind of have some blind side of oh, my Ripper's for Femina. But the thing is, your opponent is smart. It's not like it's his first time playing against a Ripper and he's a Dracotale player. He will opt to play around the Ripper as much as possible. So here, I just wanted to show how you shouldn't be blindsided by your cards and know what your opponent has as well. It's very important when playing, because here you got no value from his two Fua draws. He went neg on both of them. We had a really good card against his top decks. So I just feel like the VS player was in a very winning position, and he could never lose. But yeah, obviously this is not to bash the guy or anything like that. But I'm just since I played this deck myself, I just feel like I was really upset when he didn't win, when he clearly could have won. So yeah, let me know, guys, what you think. If there was something I missed, do let me know. Like I said, the Dark Ruler should not be in his hand, but this was just me to show his hand. But yeah, the Dark Ruler, he should have never drawn it, because that one draw just made it too hard for the VS player. But yeah, thank you.